Thanks for clicking on Just Beast Fitness and your trainer Jasper Bravo, and today we are training our shoulders. If you want to have that wide shoulders, broad shoulders, the shoulders that make you have that V-tape shape, this is a video for you. If you've been struggling with your shoulders, maybe you're training them and they're not growing, and you think your diet is also right, maybe you're just not hitting them right. So we're just going to do that. I'm taking you through my regular shoulder workout routine that I usually do, and this workout routine you can do it 2, 3 to 4 times in a week. But if your shoulders is really a problem for you, you should consider doing at least 3 times in a week. But just for a normal person who just wants to grow their shoulders, 2 times is good enough. I think 2 times, you should always aim for 2 times. But even a serious hit like this one, this is a serious workout that even if you do once, your shoulders will still grow if you do this still once per week. But at least try to make sure that you train your shoulders each and every week so that you hit them regularly, because there's that frequency of workout is very important, because the more frequently you train most of your muscles, the higher the chances of them growing. Now we are starting, of course, with the warm-up, just to make sure that the joints are prepared for the work ahead and to avoid any sort of injury, by the way, and also to make the muscles familiar with whatever it is that they're going to do, so that some blood can be pumped over there, and just to allow us hit this workout session and just kill it all the way without any interruptions. Because always, if you want to grow, consistency is the key, and injury is the biggest and the most common enemy of consistency, because when you get hurt, you won't be able to go to the gym. So right now we just have to warm up the joints and the muscles, just so that when you start working out, we are in position to do that. And plus, warming up always makes the heavier weights lighter. If you just go and attack weight directly without warming up, you'll find that they'll be a bit heavy compared to if you are warmed up. So there are just so many benefits you can get out of warming up. So you should stop looking at it as a waste of time, because there are people who do that. There are people who look at it and they feel like this is a waste of time. Why can't I just go direct to hitting the weight? But yeah, there are so very many benefits. Now we're starting the first workout and the first set, which is the lateral raises. And today we're going for heavy to moderate weight, which means we'll be going for around 8 to 15 reps. And yeah, but when we get ourselves in a situation where we can go more reps, of course, we don't limit ourselves. So that was the first set. Then we go to the second set, which is for the lateral raises. Always, I like starting with the side or the lateral delts, because they're the ones which are rarely worked out, and they're the ones which need the most beating when we are just getting started. It's the most important part of the shoulders for me. So we're going to the third set, and we're just repeating the same weight, which is 15 kgs, and we are aiming for those high reps. Of course, today we are going for the heavy to moderate reps. So when I say high reps, I mean we could go for like 15 reps, but if we find ourselves going extra that is still okay. So that is where we get to failure with that workout. That is the third set. Now we're going to the fourth set, which we are going to do while seated, just to hit that muscle from different angles. And we're just using the same weight, which is 15 kgs. And as you can see, we are hitting it to failure. So we are going to a place where we just can't do the rep good enough. So according to me, failure is when, even when I train, I can't do the rep good enough. So when I start cheating, I consider that one failure. Now we are going to the next workout, which is overhead machine press. And here also we're just using a moderate to heavy weights, which means we'll be going for moderate to low reps. That is around 10 reps there, because this one we did around, on this first set, we just done around 15 reps. So this workout, this overhead press, usually hits the mid, which is the lateral delt, and the front delt too, depending on how you do it. and a little bit of rear delts. Now we are supersetting it with the rear delt movement, which is face pull, and this one is an isolation movement that isolates the rear delts. It's a very good workout, by the way, for back and also for the rear delts of the shoulders. So this one we went for very low. We went for very low reps, which means, I mean, the low weight, the lightweight, because we want to go for the high reps on this one, just to mix in, because sometimes the workout also starts being boring when we just do the heavy ones. So I like to start mixing up sometimes, just to make the workout a little bit interesting, because every workout also has to be interesting. Always, everything that you do difficult can always feel a little bit easier if you added a little bit of fun into them. I believe that so much. So anything, however difficult it is, always look for creative ways on how to make it fun. And we are supersetting that on the lateral raises, but seated, just to continue hitting that side delts, because we are trying to have at least 6 sets on the lateral head, then the front and the back and the rear delts we can go for 4 sets, 4 to 6, because after all, they get trained. Anytime we train our back, we train the rear delts, and anytime we train our chest, also we train the front delts. So that's why the mid delt gets most of the beating through this movement, I mean through all of this workout. So, and right now we are going for failure, by the way, and on this rep we went for at least 30 reps, just to make sure that we go for failure. And that's why you notice we are swinging, and this swinging comes when we've already done the perfect reps first. I don't want you to start your first rep and you start swinging like that. You only swing when you've done your perfect reps and you get to now almost failure, and you can't do it anymore unless you cheat a little bit. So that doesn't mean that I encourage cheating. Cheating is not always bad, as long as you do it after doing the right thing. Now we're going to the next set of the overhead press, and we added a little bit of weight just to make sure that we get everything and every twitch in that muscle is activated as much as possible. We want that tension, and we want the movement to be as taxing as possible. And I want you to notice something again when I do this movement, is that I lift the weight all the way up, and I drop my elbows all the way down until where my elbows can't move anymore, because I don't usually understand why people do the partials. There's a reason why you have to go all the way up, all the way down, because your God made you to be in a position where you can do that. There's a reason why your body is able to go for all that stretch. So why limit it? Always go for the full range of motion, so that even apart from building your muscles, even when it comes to your daily activities, you'll become good at them, and you'll become more efficient, because you're used to moving things in total range of motion. So we are supersetting still with the rear delt movement, and this one is a face pull. And some people should say that this is not a good workout for the rear delts, because there's no tension on the squeeze, on the stretch, which is true, but we get so much tension on the squeeze, because there are those workouts that we get tension on the squeeze, and that those ones that we get tension on the stretch. So this is just one of those workouts that we get the tension on the squeeze, and it's always best to mix them up. That is, if you're training your rear delts, you can always mix them up with the lying down on the bench rear delt flies, and that one will help with the stretch part. Or you can use the cable rear delt raises. Now we are going to the next set of the seated, and there we did around 8 reps, because the pump is done and the energy is gone. We have reached the end. That's the when you notice that you've given it your all, and as you can see, the pump is real, the shoulder is popping. You can see even the parts of the body that you didn't train, like the chest and the triceps, are so much pumped too. That just shows you how brutal this workout is. This is a workout that is supposed to last you for about 1 hour on the max, but 45 minutes is good if you just have enough rest in between your sets and you do your sets to your optimal best. 1 hour will be the max time you need, as long as you don't waste time when you go to the gym. You don't tell so much stories, you don't use your phone in between your sets. You're going to do this within an hour, and you'll get an awesome pump, and a beautiful body in a long run. So this and I also want to encourage you guys that if you haven't started working out because of anything that you might be lacking, I want you to know that that is just an excuse. You need to just start. Wherever the place you are at, you can always start. Even if you can't access a gym, you can always work out in the house. Use your body to do push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, and so on and so forth, and body squats. And still, if you don't have money for food, as long as you're surviving, the little food that you eat, you can always do that, because that's one of the most common excuses I get many people use. Somebody tells you that I want to come work out, then tell them it's okay, you can come. Then they tell you that, by the way, why I haven't, and then you meet them like, let's say, a week or two later, and you ask them, why haven't you started yet? And some of them will tell you that it's because I haven't gotten enough money to buy food, and they believe that they have to eat so much for them to start working out. And that's not what happens. Always just do what you can. Just control the controllables. If you can work out, just work out with whatever it is you have, and you'll get whatever you'll get. And whatever you think that you still lack, you'll get them along the way as you go. Because as Jim Rohn says, that anything that is worth doing is worth doing bad. So if it's something that you think you need to do, it's okay to start doing, even if you're doing it in a shitty way. Even if you're not doing it optimally, assuming you think you need all those things to start, it's all okay to do it. Let me see you in the next one, and you can like, subscribe, and share with somebody who can like this video. Thank you.